What we'll do is I will hold the bird, I hope, and be able to let those of you who wish to take a picture, we'll walk around relatively close, which has two functions. One is to let the bird get used to being out of the box, lets us check him out, and then also gives him a chance to get used to being in the bright light because it's dark in the back of the truck. We don't want to send him off when he's snowblind, so to speak, coming into bright light. So it's not just for the photo that actually has a purpose other than just giving you the chance to take the pictures, but hey, you know, take your pictures. That's part of why we're here, part of why you're here. Before we get started on this, does anybody have any questions? Because once we get started, we're going to be pretty focused.
Which way are you releasing him?
Actually, the breeze is coming off the river, so I'll be sending him that way, and there's a real good chance he'll turn around and come back into the wind. So, yes?
Do you know about how old the bird is?
No clue. It's an adult bird, so it's more than 4.5.
Is it male or female?
I honestly don't know. I may be able to tell you when we get him out. Do you know?
Female.
Female? All right, so it's a big bird.
And it has been banded?
So,
it's been banded?
Again, I haven't really paid any attention to him yet. I'm sorry.
It's been banded?
This bird has been banded. We band all of the eagles we release. There are two bands you will see. One is a shiny aluminum band, which is from the Bird Banding Laboratory. The U.S. Geological Survey has a number that is registered with the federal government. The other band is a research band that we put on a colored band. We do that cooperatively with the Department of Game and Inland Fisheries. It's the color for Virginia. And so if this bird is seen in Florida, even if they can't get him to read the band with a good set of binoculars or a scope, they'll be able to tell it's a Virginia bird. So, any other questions or thoughts or denunciations or rebuttals? Okay, and before I forget, a couple of things going on at the Wildlife Center. First of all, we're not your tax dollars at work. So if you care a lot about what's going on and you are motivated by this, please bear in mind that we operate off charitable support, contributions, donations of all types. And we actually get donations of all types, from artwork to jewelry that we sell in our auctions at our gala fundraising event. But a check, cash, credit card, we're happy with all
Works
that.
Good.
We're good with that, as long as the check clears the bank, that is. But also, we've got a couple of special events coming up in the not very distant future. Our annual fundraising gala is the first weekend in November, first Saturday night in November. You can get details on our website. Beautiful event. We've been doing it now for about 26 years, 27 years, and black tie, lovely art auction, and before dinner, wonderful dinner, cocktail party, and live auction. Some of the items we have in the auction this year include a safari in Africa and dive trip in the Caribbean. So lots of fun stuff, and then all kinds of other things. The weekend after that, the second weekend in November, we have our annual Call of the Wild conference, and that is all about wildlife rehabilitation and care. If you're interested in the conservation issues and the practice of wildlife rehabilitation, even if you don't do it, we have a conference that attracts people from all over the country, and it's right out in the Shenandoah Valley, just about 2 miles, actually 3 miles from the Wildlife Center, so we have open houses and you get a chance to participate in all that. All that information's on our web. Gloves are specifically designed for manipulating wildlife. Soft palm that I can get a good grip, and heavily padded here, but because I'm reaching into a cage to grab an eagle with great big feet, I'm going to put on...
I can attest to that.
Yeah, I bet you can. Yeah, if you don't know what you're doing with these guys, it's a really, really good way to experience body piercing. It's very popular under some circumstances. I think I'm going to do this with one hand, or at least I'm going to try to. Well, let me do it this way. And now, the one thing that I will explain now is once I get the bird out, I'm going to ask Miranda to pull the gloves off my hands. Once I get the feet controlled, because I can control them far better barehanded. It's a matter of getting the bird out of the cage that is often challenging. Okay, any last questions before we start this process? Okie dokie.
Ed, do you know the band number, or can you get a look at the band number when you bring her
I don't
out?
have it here. Well, we'll see how cooperative it is. But we got it. Of course, we got it at the office. So
Okay.
send an email up and we'll put it on the website. Yeah, Willie.
Very still and quiet. Okay.
Right, but this is the actual
one?
band.
Any of them.
I've got to get to know you better to show you all the scars. But, back when I was single, hey, want to come up and see my scars? Yeah, that line never worked, but it was the truth. Yeah, I actually had a golden eagle put its talons all the way through my arm, in one side and out the other, on the grounds of the Washington Monument while we were there for the 20th anniversary of Earth Day, at which I was a keynote speaker. So, yeah.
If this isn't possible, that's fine. But we would kind of like, if somebody wouldn't mind taking a picture of us kind of by the bird.
No, we'll make that happen. These are the folks that rescued the bird, so were they not so willing to be involved in the adventure? All right, let's get this show on the road. You're a female, all right.
Snorting like a pig.
Now, it does not hurt it to hold it upside down. She's actually holding herself. I'm sure that's going to change in a minute. Get her head, get her feet. We got her under control. So now we'll get the wings up. This actually is not that large an eagle. She's got great big feet, so I'm pretty sure it is a female, but not a very big bird, which is really good. I like that. All right, that bumper's off. This bumper is off, and so we're ready to get ready. So you all want to come out here and get a picture? All right, come on in here. There we go. Yeah, Rose had some orthopedic surgery done. We offered to do it for her at the Wildlife Center. There we go. You bet. All right, now I'm going to walk around here a little closer, and you can see this bird is not at all enamored with me. Keep one note, do that. And this bird probably weighs, what, about 8 pounds? A big female would be half again as large as this bird. So this bird probably has a wingspan of about 6.5 feet. Big female could have a wingspan easily of 8 feet, 14 pounds, feet the size of my hand, and an attitude the size of Alaska. And of course, you know, you can see Russia from your backyard in Alaska. There are lots of eagles up there. Oops, political slip. You can see lots of eagles in Alaska, one of the states in which they were never an endangered species. Now you see the yellow beak, the yellow eye, that's the mature coloration when these birds come out of the egg and get their first feathers. They're all dark. Their eye is dark, their feet are dark, and it's only as they begin to mature that they will develop the mature coloration, the white head, the white tail. Comes when they're about 4.5 years old. Now, one of the things that makes conserving a species like eagles particularly difficult is they don't start reproducing until they're 5 or 6 years old, which means that there is an attrition rate or a loss rate of about 75%. So about 3 out of every 4 eagles that are hatched don't even make it to maturity. So we are very, very anxious to get everyone back into the wild that we can possibly put back. I'm going to send this bird up. All right, everybody ready? All right. You pay attention here. All right. Yeah, no. We don't go in for that. No public shows of affection. All right. On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. There you go. Now you notice the bird was canting just a little bit when it flew. That right wing is the one that had the surgery, and bear in mind that bird's been in a box for 4 hours. So that'll straighten out. This bird is flying very strongly, very fast. Would not surprise me if it circles around. That sometimes happens, but it's almost anticlimactic. You spend all this time getting down here, and 30 seconds later it's over.